Hello, hello, hello. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever we are in the world or in the world. And this is Mohammed M. Shilon coming to you from North Carolina. Happy New Year to everyone, the audience, and welcome back. And for to new listeners, them, we wish everybody a prosperous 2024. And this now we first show since we take a hiatus uh, in December for just complete the uh, season, the holiday season. So we're back now, and this is our first show. So we try for just bring back some trending issues where I'm sure some of which have been dealt with by we colleagues them, VOS, but topics from other perspective we want to deal with, and particularly with respect to what we call institutional lapses. We know before the end of the year, there was this rumor and scandal about the clerk of parliament being responsible for hiring a spouse and many other underhanded way of employing people. And so we want to talk on the issues and as to how to prevent these things from happening. We want to be able to make clear, as we normally try to do, although there are some people who are super sensitive, who think, say, anytime you say something in something critical of the government or the administration, you have something against them. We've been trying to make it clear that the purpose of this show is to try for make people realize, say, we don't want the same old, a repeat of all the errors that other governments have been making over the years. We try for make sure, say, we reach a stopping point where we go begin for regenerate certain standards. We go help we for let we try for begin for build with political institutions them. And the political institutions then what would they talk about? The whole purpose is forget a good governance for let we get a good system, because without which we could just keep the go round in a circle, repeating the same old mistake. We do know for some people, then look at politics, particularly Australian democracy, as a zero-sum game. That is, watching you lose, me gain. Watching me gain, you lose. We know the look at in the general context of how the country itself for benefit, how for grow the economy, how for improve the lives of people, how for raise the standard of living, how for go back to all glorious days of achievement and attainment. Some of us not to look at Sierra Leone that way and from that vantage point at all. We just look at strictly from the lenses of a political party. Whatever party is in power, it is their day, it is their time. But we contend that that's viewing the country from that perspective, they will never take the country one step forward. And I mean literally one step forward. We will never make a step forward. We will continue for lag behind and behind and behind, because we're not looking and we're not trying to treat with system holistically. And so when we say them things here, we're not saying as a criticism, we're saying as a form of advice, circumspection. Let we educated people them, where they in the position of power, we get the means by which they can advise the president and the cabinet and the powers to be for which direction for go. Because we see say when, and we'll get some issues that we will get for address. We'll get for point out the lapses in the very foundation of a constitution. Some of the corrections that have to be made, without which we will never be able to correct the whole process. we want to address the fact that we ourselves, we are constitutional scholars, whoever they may be, but I'll give them the due respect and call them scholars, did not seem to grasp the basic understanding of what the constitution of a country is and ought to be. And therefore, I don't seem to have a basic understanding of the role of Parliament and vis-a-vis that of the Constitution itself. Because we get instances upon instances in which the Constitution says one thing and Parliament passes something contradicting or contradictory to the dictates of the Constitution. Where not for be. Anybody who understand anything about Constitution, the Constitution is the basic law of the land. And Parliament in power limited. Parliament not get absolute power for pass any kind of law will contradict sections of the Constitution, but we see that they happen. And we will point out certain things then today. And we will even point out certain things about the very composition of Parliament itself. It's like building a house on the wrong foundation. We will tell you now how they define Parliament, why in fact we're having so much problem. And so with that said, I have one of the most able person as my co-host, Mr. Victor Mengat, where he himself will introduce himself, and then we will rely on him on a lot of expertise for try for help we, because this is a man who both academically, as a trained engineer, as well as experience-wise and intellectually as someone who worked in the British Parliament, understands what democratic governance is all about and ought to be. So we just try for shed light, for help, not for criticize. And we hope people then go call in, then go listen, then go try for make contribution. They're not going to begin for think in terms of say, well, like this party or that party, because that is not the intention. The country ought to go forward because no one party will rule Sierra Leone forever. I don't care how skillful, how cunning that party they be. There's going to be miscalculation. And when that miscalculation they take place, then we're going back to the drawing board. And this country cannot keep going, taking one step forward, 10 steps backward, as we've been doing since 1961. So with that said, as my preamble, I am going to turn it over to my co-host, Mr. Victor Mengat. But the main issues today that we're going to be dealing with, we will get some subheading, is what's next for Parliament following the recent corruption scandal. So I turn it over to my co-host, Mr. Victor Mengat.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Shillong. Before we go into that, your usual encouragement for people and for joining in the show in terms of how they will network and contact you. If you can announce that, then I can get the ball rolling.
Thank you very much, sir. Well, generally speaking, our listeners, they know say we get certain medium them through which they can able reach we. And they know say this program is interactive, it's live, so you can call in, you can send in written commentaries, or you can call in and participate. We'll get a general rule. If you call in, if your call is taken, you get 3 minutes maximum for putting all your questions or all your comments. And then we'll give you 30 seconds for recap everything what you get for say. But we know they try for, we don't want to let people and they on hold for too long. They make limit to 3 minutes. And we also encourage people and for say, if you call, your 3 minutes is up, we get a buzzer, we go sound for tell you say it's time for you to quit talking or stop talking. If you continue, the buzzer will go on one more time and then you'll be shut off. So we just want to make you know. So if you are in the middle of saying something and then you're shut off the process, That's because we don't give you the first warning that your time is up and you continue to talk. Now, if you're calling from North America, we want people from North America, we're comprised of Mexico, Canada, and the United States. We get what you call a toll-free number. That toll-free number is 1-866-944-7722. 1-866-944-7722. That is, if you're within any of these three countries, you can call in without any expense to you, direct to this number I just mentioned, 866-944-7722. If you're calling from the United Kingdom, you also can call a local number, which is +44 2080891455. +44 2080891455. If you're calling from Australia, you also can call +61 290984 From Australia, +61 290984 You can call locally from Australia and you'll be able to reach us. Worldwide, you can call the WhatsApp number from anywhere in the world, or from any continent, Asia, Africa, Europe, it doesn't matter. And that will be 1-343-997-5828. 1-343-997-5828. And last but not least, you can also reach us on the radio of 91.9 FM in Freetown. 91.9 FM in Freetown. In addition to the medium I just named, we are carried on WhatsApp, YouTube, Instagram, so you can see us also live and other spaces there. So we strongly suggest that please participate. Once we start going, I need not announce the opening of the lines. The lines are usually open. So call in, give in your opinion, and we'll go from there. With that, let me turn it over to my co-host, Mr. Mengot.
Well, Fambulem in Akushe, and I know say me colleague be not wishing a prosperous 2024. As in I know, even before we shut down in December, I've been away due to some personal issues, but I'm back and bouncing. And today is good where we start for look at the institutions them under governance, because governance in my area, not only the parliamentary issues that we will deal with, but the different arms of government. You know, and it all come back to we country and the issues them for the three different institutions within every country in the world. When the legislature, by what I mean by the legislature, with the parliament, the people that will vote for, when they make we law, when they review with budgets, when they also the whole government to account. We also they talk about government when the executive headed by the president, where nine are the chief executive of roles and responsibility defined by a sacred document we'll call the Constitution of Sierra Leone 1991, where several governments, successful governments, starting from post-war, Tijankaba government, we don't term, some for good, some for bad, because the first one we'll do now when Tijankaba come back, with ask for proportional representation, then in a discussion for another day. Then after the Tijankaba government, we also been getting an Esbaikoma government with key issue in the constitution. We deal with the position of the vice president. When a even go court, then this government in their first term we see a lot of things for deal with the constitution. We're going to the court. Key among which the issue again of the proportional representation system. But now, you don't want to talk here. What you want to talk today, now the relationship between these three arms of government. The legislature, which is parliament, the executive, which is government, under the president, then the judiciary, where now we learned friend of which, this are the only people that will know, so they call the learned, because they deal with so many things them. So let me start first in context. If you take the three arms of government, although they get equal power and collective responsibility, but in my own view, and I stand challenged, Parliament stands supreme among the three elements. Nine, they make law them. Nine, they make sure say government spend money for we welfare and we well body one. So the constitution, when at the 1991 constitution, they want start. Because section 73(1) of the constitution say, there shall be a legislature of Sierra Leone, which shall be known as a parliament, and shall consist of the president, the speaker, and members of parliament. So on that particular clause in the constitution, it is a member of parliament. That's what the constitution says. Right? Rightfully or wrongfully, then it don't cause a lot of problem. Because inside the constitution, where some of the things that we want to delve into now, that same constitution, they give the government enormous power. I mean, the president, what we call special executive power, in terms of the appointments, in terms of even get the power for call parliament during emergency. And if not member of parliament, now 2 term, every session president, they go parliament. Where he go give in speech, the state opening of parliament, they shout. Then after that, the members then take 2 or 3 days and debate his speech. And that is it. That's the end of it. They come back until when parliament will lock back for can say farewell. So that system, the president and a member of parliament, and we take precedence from the British system we adopt. How come we know they get the president frequently for come parliament, for can answer to questions on the representation, especially where he can go out missions. He's saying they try to build the country in image where we will not get objection to that. But for come back, for can report. And even if you not report personally, it ministers them for can give account to some of the things they way, then they go discuss on their behalf, the treaties the way, then they go sign, and all that thing. So this mismatch between parliament, when at the legislature, and the executive, we go show you now how then they can affect what we talk about the scandal. Because the person was central to this, even though in the parliament, he was appointed at the pleasure of the president. Because now so the law say. So now, left and the opportunity for delve into them overlaps here and legal ramifications of this mismatch between parliament, the executive, and the legislature. Over to you, sir.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Mengot. Now, of course, along this line, we intend for talk about the Parliamentary Service Commission, and we intend for also talk about the Clerk of Parliament in relation to the Parliamentary Service Commission and the role he plays, or the multiple roles he plays within the Parliamentary Service Commission. And then we will try to analyze whether role by itself implicitly is in conflict with some of the responsibilities. Then we'll go analyze some of the things then where we don't see, like the current scandal, where the very clerk is in charge of the body of investigators, where for investigate the clerk with respect to the corrupt practices of the office. So then we also get some videos then we'll go for play as time become appropriate. Where for just show, say, there is a lot that has to be done in this situation. Now, Mr. Mengot mentioned just now the composition of Parliament, where I think start off with Section 73 of the Constitution, where they deal with the composition of Parliament itself. And it named the President as a member of Parliament in general terms. So we get issues with that. We want to let people and we familiar with the setup of the Constitution for tell we whether in fact the President is or can be a member of Parliament in the normal sense of the word. Can the President be both a parliamentarian as well as a member of the executive and the head of the executive? Can the President constitutionally be allowed to appoint even the clerk of Parliament, which is another separate co-equal branch of government? And so there are so many issues there we'll get to deal with, because we think, say, there are a lot of institutional overlaps. And we'll get to deal with the parliamentary administration. So how for go forward? Otherwise, these things will just go in a circle. We'll just go in a circle. We're not going to go forward because everything is being done for convenience, not for improving we democratic or political system, whatever we want for call them. So in this respect, we're going to rely quite a bit, and we're going to talk about the Parliamentary Act of 2023, which I will ask my able co-host for elaborate on for we. I think in the 2023 Act was passed very recently, I think in the past 4 months or 3 months. So we want to see the implication of the Parliamentary Act with respect to the current composition of the Parliamentary Service Commission and the Constitution itself as a whole. So let me ask Mr. Mengot, if you don't mind, if he can just take piece by piece, let us say the Section 73 of the Constitution itself. Mr. Mengot, I just want to ask, do you see, or what do you find, or what do you think overlaps of that section of Section 73, talking about the composition of Parliament, or the initial composition of Parliament, would name the President as a member of Parliament? What are you on construction of that?
I would like to put them in the context of this speaker. Not only the speaker,
the clerk,
but in the context of the clerk of Parliament.
Okay, all right.
Because if we go to a constitution, Section 79. It talks about things for do with the appointment, the clerk of parliament. He said, there shall be a clerk of parliament who shall be appointed by the president, acting in consultation with the Public Service Commission, and shall be responsible for the administration of parliament. So already, the president, yes, he get a power there for appoint the clerk, who is the head of administration. So in other words, the clerk get enormous power. So already, by the president having that responsibility for appoint the number one man na parliament, when as a result of that position, they make all this brouhaha. Now make we question this idea of the independence of parliament and the president being the one where they appoint the clerk of parliament. And as we know, when the president they appoint, most of the letter them, he always say, it pleases the president. So if now you appoint him, we'll therefore go into this in detail later on for see if the allegations against the clerk are proven, who should take disciplinary action against him? Whether it's the president to appoint him or the Parliamentary Service Commission, we'll go telling her waiting to happen. But before we go to all that, for let we people they understand all this thing what they call scandal in the parliament, let we ask we controlling team for play the video, we bring all the issue here, because now two issues that we deal with. On the one issue, there's this idea to say the clerk unilaterally decide for sack or give termination letter to members of public where the people are under the supervision of the Public Service Commission. But then again, we will for talk about another controversy, because that role is now being transferred to the Parliamentary Service Commission. So which one take precedence over in company? So for putting in context, let's get the team, the technical team, let them play this video about how this thing come about. We bring the clerk Kainsai Panden Wahalaya. So in
December 18, 2023, the clerk of the Saloon Parliament, Paran Tarawali, been give sack letter them to over 100 workman them na the Saloon Parliament, where he sign and been pulled come out from them work na the Saloon Parliament. This come after with the Speaker of Parliament, when at the head of the Parliamentary Service Commission, the highest decision-making body at the Saloon Parliament, been don't assure the public, say Parliament not get any plan for sack them workman them.
We have not yet taken the decision. And for all you know, the decision might not even involve redundancies of existence.
The Speaker of Parliament, Honorable Dr. Abbas Chernobundu, been they respond to concern with the leader of opposition at the Saloon Parliament, Honorable Abdul Kabu, raised but rumor where he been get say the Saloon Parliament plan for sack over 100 workman them. But although the Speaker of Parliament been don't assure the public say Parliament not get plan for sack them workman them, the Clerk of Parliament, Paran Tarawali, used in office for sack over 100 workman them. Now the Saloon Parliament, without the approval of the Parliamentary Service Commission, we get the power for do so. This na the case because Wigbla TV Online gets onto the Speaker of Parliament for know if na him get the order or sign the letter them for make the Clerk of Parliament sack the over 100 workman them. The Speaker of Parliament make am clear. Say, nobody not tell am, say Parliament, they sack over 100 workman them, or even tell am the law we say Parliament for sack them workman them, yeah. As the head of the legislative arm of government, the Speaker of Parliament, Honorable Dr. Abbas Cherno-Bundu, say he believes say Parliament for make sure say any of the decision them where they make we go affect the life of people them like this sacking for go according to the law we Parliament self they make, or else the people them not go get confidence pan Parliament or even respect the Parliament. For this reason, make the Speaker of Parliament don't summon one emergency Parliamentary Service Commission meeting we for be the 4th of January 2024 for make the Clerk of Parliament we sack the over 100 workman them who explain to the Parliamentary Service Commission the reason we make it decide for take this decision. But as all this they be, Black TV Online don't get documents them we show say the Clerk of Parliament Paran Tarawali don't they use in office for employ plenty of young people them we make the Parliament don't get plenty workman them past the amount where them want, and plenty of them workman them where the Clerk of Parliament employ not they even go work but they collect big salary from the Salon Parliament. And at this, the Speaker of Parliament, Honorable Dr. Abbas Cherno-Bundu, self been talk about for people them where he say they don't find out say don't they collect salary for sake of Parliament but not ever mass foot go work na Parliament.
What has come to our attention is that we have a figure of the number of people working for Parliament, but when we do an actual count, we don't seem to be getting that figure.
Now, document with Black TV Online gets show say one of the people them we don't collect salary from the Salon Parliament and not ever mass foot for go work na Parliament na the Clerk of Parliament Paran Tarawali in Wef Abibatu Paran Tarawali. The document show say the Clerk of Parliament in Wef don't collect monthly salary of about 7,676 new leons from the 1st of September 2021 from Parliament as Human Resource Officer on grade 7 with PIN number 609310. This na pay slip from the Parliamentary Service Commission. We get stamp and the signature of the Clerk of Parliament, Paran Tarawali. We show say this na payment we been on the go on from 2021 after we the Clerk of Parliament, Paran Tarawali, had in Wef and 17 other people them as workman them na the Salon Parliament just after them make them as Clerk of Parliament. Within Black TV Online Fenots, now that most of the position them with the Clerk of Parliament in Wef and other people them don't get na replacement with the Clerk of Parliament do with other workman them we be done the work na the Salon Parliament. Other information we come up now that the over 100 workman them with the Clerk of Parliament don't sack this BNTM without the approval of the Parliamentary Service Commission. He want for replace them with other people them just as he be done they do. Black TV Online don't try all kind of way for get the response of the Clerk of Parliament Paran Tarawali on them allegation them and self then document them we get this information but you not agree for pick call or even respond to text message. But all this information we don't come out na do and waiting the Clerk of Parliament do for challenge the authority of the Speaker of Parliament and the Parliamentary Service Commission. We get the last say na Parliament. People don't hang them years for year waiting to come out from the Parliamentary Service Commission meeting with the Speaker of Parliament, Sefton Salmon, for make the Clerk of Parliament, Paran Tarawali, who explain to them the reason why he decide for take the decision for sack over 100 workman them when the Parliamentary Service Commission no more get the power for do so. Black TV Online will continue for follow up on this issue as it happen. For Salon Parliament Eye on Black TV Online. Mina Abdullah Blah.
All right. Go ahead, Mr. Bengot.
Yes, family, and I don't hear this report from Black TV. And for my complaint, Black TV work with the Parliamentary Watch, where we get a Facebook page with over 80,000 members. So Black TV, they report live. So there are two issues here. There's one issue of the clerk hiring people them unilaterally, allegedly, I use the word allegedly, including in wife, without the knowledge of the parliament. Then there's also the issue of the sacking of 100 people. So, for put them in context, people will get for know, for let we get a good discussion, either na the Parliamentary Service Commission, because remember, before, when the Constitution say the clerk and other staff na Parliament, then a public servant, the disciplinary and supervision of the Public Service Commission, when they deal with all public service officers. But then now, we get the Parliamentary Act, the initial one have been 207, but the last one, Act, with 23 Act day, now he now make the Parliamentary Service Commission as the body we're responsible for everything for do with recon, disciplinary act, and everything in the Parliament. So who then are the people that waiting at this Parliamentary Service Commission? You get the Speaker. You get the Speaker. Then leaders of the political parties represented in Parliament. In the last Parliament, we will get APC, C4C, the other one, NGC. This Parliament, now two party they no more daily. We don't go back to that two party. So it means the leader of government business and the leader of the opposition, they are both members of the party, of this committee, the Parliamentary Service Commission. Then you get the government chief whip. The chief whip, what is a chief whip? Chief whip na the person responsible na each party for discipline members then. Vote, members and they are around for votes. If members then do anything where
Looks like me colleague is frozen. It appears. So let me step in until such time that he comes back on. So when you talk about the composition of the Public Service Commission, so Mr. Mengot, feel at liberty to interrupt me anytime. I'm just breaking in view of the technical glitch that we are having. So the Public Service Commission that is supposed to be a disciplinary body, as well as the administrative body for conduct of impropriety, such as what the clerk was engaging by hiring in WEF and other relatives, basically practicing nepotism. So there is provision that there are disciplinary actions that can be taken. But here's the problem. The very Public Service Commission way for be the commission for look into ethical conduct of the clerk. The clerk is also made a part of that commission date. In other words, the clerk is part of the commission that is going to investigate the clerk. I need not talk about the implicit, in fact, the express conflict of interest right there. So, and also the clerk of parliament is also made principal advisor for the Public Service Commission that should investigate his conduct. You know, talking about a conflict of interest. So how are we going to have objective outcome of any type of investigation if the subject of the investigation himself is part and party to the investigative process? You see, so these are some of the things that I had to talk about. Are we trying to build with political institutions, or are we just playing games? And because we cannot continue this kind of process. If we're going to have a public service commission, it has to constitute independent members with integrity. We're going to look objectively, without fear or favor, to those affected by whatever the accusations are. So this is not what we're seeing. We are seeing appointments of people to investigate themselves or belonging to committees that are assigned for investigate the conduct of the accused. So this is the problem that we have now when we go on a parliament. So then, of course, we have raised the issue. I raised the issue earlier, and I strongly, okay, by the way, let me encourage all those who are listening who may have some contribution to make in terms of ideas. Please, the lines are open. Feel free to call in by way of suggestions or asking any questions, because we really are trying to see if we can help for improve the system. We cannot just always keep complaining about problems with the system, because some of the problems, the outcome are foreseeable. You can see the outcome, that it is not going to be very good. So if you get a committee, if you get someone who commits an offense or a crime or irregularity, then you put them in a commission of inquiry for investigating conduct. Should we be any surprise for see that person they say not guilty of any misconduct or of any improper conduct? So these are the things. So if you cannot build political institutions that way. And you also see Mr. Mengot also quotes the section 73 of the Constitution, doing at the inception of Parliament itself. They say Parliament shall consist of the President, the President, the Speaker. Well, that in and of itself is problematic, because the President should not be part of Parliament, because he belongs and is head of a completely distinct co-equal branch of government. If the sooner you begin to give the Speaker hands in the administration of matters concerning the executive, you are creating problem. Likewise, the sooner you begin to give the President or the office of the presidency hands in legislative matters, you are creating problem. So then there are so many things that we need to go back and take a look at and see if probably go back to the drawing board and see if we get to do amendments or modifications. Because if the President is going to be appointing the clerk of Parliament, you ask yourself, why so? The President should not be responsible or should not be assigned or delegated the power to make any single appointment in Parliament whatsoever. That's bad politics. That's bad governance. So how do we come about that? What are the geniuses then who put that system there together? That the president appoints the clerk of Parliament. It shouldn't be. That power there has to be taken away from the president or the presidency, put back in the hands of Parliament with better controlling functionalities. If not, we are not going to make any progress. It will be corruption, corruption, corruption. People being appointed to investigate themselves. Let me just digress here and just take a call. My noble and able co-host has reappeared, but let me take a call. Then I will pass it over to Mr. Mengot. Hello, caller. Hello, hello, caller. Turn your instrument down. Hello.
Yeah, I just did.
All right, sir.
Hello?
Hello. Welcome.
Hello,
What's your
Mr.
question?
Shilon. Hello, Mr. Mengot, and hi, VOS. This is Abdullah call from New Jersey.
Oh, Abdullah, welcome. Happy New Year. Yeah. Welcome.
Thank you. Likewise.
Okay. Go ahead.
Thank you very much again for a wonderful program. Based on the points we are connect and which I read so far, I just want to make a few comments. Now, I think I agree, Mr. Shilon, you talk about the Parliamentary Service Commission. I'm happy, you may not be know that you able to explain the composition of that commission. We just show say that commission not anywhere near within and call integrity or be the body where they investigate that situation be. So then if they even attempt for do now it's sham. So even the least person to the person we get a least understanding of within public service be. But in all fairness to Param, by which I get I might be wrong here, you can correct me. I understand say in the make a request or in a part of the set of people who make a request say there should be an appointment of a special committee for do this investigation. So my assumption are that now on that basis, because in being part of that team of the Parliamentary Service Commission, it would be a conflict of interest. So if that is what he said, or if he was a part of the team of people who said that, in all fairness to him, I'll give him kudos for that. However, in a situation of this kind, especially when there has been a proof that the woman and wife don't make payment of this, we don't almost show a sign of guilt. So parental in the question is waiting is still they do at that parliament. They serve as a public official, especially when not to an elected official, where maybe the removal of them could be a little complex, and not to a public elected official in an appointed one. So my big question is, what is still the duty as clerk and even participate in decisions about investigating himself, whether positive or negative. They're not supposed for the day as with the talk show. Any country with serious leaders than they. If we resign voluntarily or a removal, then in the right way for go. And in wife, the fact that you don't pay this money, not to just that they may pay him, but he commits a separate crime different from a husband. Okay, you not to you they hire yourself. Your husband do this illegally. But you be not there, however, on the payroll. But the fact is, you know, be even show up for work. Then in a crime separate from what your husband do. So she should be prosecuted for this crime, in addition to the sacking or removal of a husband, should he fail to do so voluntarily. And again, this is now an advice for certain entities, the executive, the president, to be specific, the ACC, the judiciary, for prove them what. Because for the past 5 going to 6 years now, the Sierra Leoneans are not convinced that these 3 entities are serious about fighting corruption in that country. But this now another opportunity. Opportunities, then always they come. But some key ones, they come once in a lifetime. So I hope Sweden will make use of this opportunity for clear some of the doubts where the Sierra Leoneans, they don't pile over them. In the sense, President Bio, everybody knows it's not a secret. Sometimes when it comes to him, they say, oh no, they interfere in the judiciary. People are like, well, everybody knows that's the reality. So he has to act. The ACC don't start very well by publishing some of their information out to the public and telling the public that some of the money don't they get back from the wife. So then we know which side of money then they go. Because for not to retrieve money, just like the 5 years money they don't retrieve from the people who they allege say go pay money to them, we know they get a clear cut understanding of how these monies have been spent. Initially, the promise of the president was their money and then go spend them for build medical institutions and other very important national entities. But we know get an understanding of these people. This is terrible. One final thing. I'm sorry, I know the time is up. One final thing in a few seconds. A very disappointing, very, very disappointing when the journalist from AYV, Amadou Lamwana, bring out something credible on this issue. You get a sitting parliamentarian by the name of Honorable Tawa, will come and send a fake information that one day until the ACC publish the letter. So this is not the most disappointing thing. You get somebody like Tawa, where have been a shining star for national issues. Now he already did a slide into the drains. This is terrible. It's something we all should be worried about. Thank you, Ahmed. Call back.
Thank you so much. We greatly appreciate your contribution. Please stay tuned. Keep listening. And we will welcome you calling back if you get further comment to make. Let me go to another caller. Hello, caller. What's your name? Where you call from? And welcome. Happy New Year. Go ahead.
Good evening, Mr. Bangot and Mr. Shilom. This is for Mustafa again from Leicester. First of all, I want to talk about the
Mr. Mustafa. Welcome.
Yes. Well, I think that the first show this after the New Year, right?
Yes, sir.
Happy New Year to both of you guys.
You're quite welcome.
The parental to me is just, a tip of the iceberg, because my own focus always could be about this budget where the president may talk about bloated budget. But I don't know to the other column. This is not just a tip of the iceberg. Now the things the way maybe not person in leak in secret. What about the other one they wouldn't know about? The woman will get 31 million, something like that per month. And now the corruption don't be so much there, according to the paperwork today from Abdul. Then backdate them to 10 months. They write to 10 months in I take salary for. We only take money from 2021. So you see the thing? More they behind this year so. So imagine then they pay them 31 million we know they go there. Because they even put a breakdown of the salary. House rent, transportation, fuel, all they did. As usual, na salon na day, you get salary enough for use them. Then they give you wardrobe, then they give you housing, then they give fuel. Then they pay you for nothing. You get city no, then they pay you. These people just don't care. This is not the problem. This is what I get with my diaspora and brother, the way they support a political party. Where they see the wrong things are happening. You still they clap. These people don't care about uplifting people from poverty. Then just a few people, we not even reach 500, and they shape the country money. Because that 60% of the budget we will say, make most of it, not to the teachers, then they will get that money. Now these few people, because if they pay one person that's 1 million, we know they go in a parliament there. Then they go pay teacher 800,000 or 1 million. So that person, one green person, don't pay 31 teachers. So this is what one present to be like, see, no, now those teachers, now those nurses, now they take the money. No, these are the people that are enjoying the state resources. This is not the thing where I get problem with, because this is not clearly a misplacement of priorities. If they go put all these people, I don't get problem with them sack the moon. Because I believe that parliament don't get woke. That parliament don't get work, because a parliament, the whole of large legislature, they knock out no bill. Parliament knock out no bill. All the laws that are approved, things then they come on from the ministers. Every day they read them, the minister, he did it. The only thing don't come out from the salary. So how what's the relevance of these people? These people are party things that they get interest over. So to me, that money when they pay all these people they tax, I don't get problem with that. Because they should not be there in the first place. Then pull and today commodity, is something positive going to come out of the parliament? No. The same things continue. A political party business. Vote, yeah, name. They count contracts, so they don't read them. Then just they pass them. They don't get no initiative of their own. Who's a private member bill? We don't commodity. Even can they why we make that omnibus bill? The government take over and the minister count in own. When are almost the same thing. Because this parliament is not working. So to me, I don't get problem with I get problem with the fact say the parliament itself is existing because it's not doing anything. Anyway, I get for call back for my second point. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Mustafa. We appreciate it. As always, you always make meaningful contribution. But we'll get a few callers. We don't want people in for hold too long. So we'll continue taking some calls. So please call back if you have more to say. Hello, caller. What's your name? Where are you call from?
Yes. Good evening, Mr. Leone and Mr. Mago. This is Fadima. How are you, sir?
Hi, Miss Fadima. Always nice to hear your voice.
Yes, sir. You asked the question on your show. What's the next? What's next for Parliament following the recent corruption and scandal? And then you ask also the question, just now say, how do we fix the problem? That is the question, the $1 million question. How do we fix the problem? I feel say first of all, there are no consequences for bad behavior. There are no consequences. We are in the ACC come out say this person don't begin pay the money. We agree with president when even they do commissions of inquiry. We don't want to put nobody in a jail. We just want we money back. And then one of the callers talk about what the president say want to do with the money. We just hear say then people they don't pay the money, but we know they see the money. We don't know who done the money. These are friends because when this thing happens, first of all, my question is where is the Speaker of Parliament? Now in a social media, they say the Speaker no. So who is telling a lie here? Are these honorable men that we put for let them do the business of the people? Where you have people and they take upon themselves, then create and demand voucher. Because this is what they called it one time where, I don't know if you all remember that, but the one that were old like me, they will remember when Akibo come out with that demand voucher, where they begin boss people, where they take salary, we're not even dinner, or then dinner payroll. Then they put people in there with themselves. And this is the same thing that has repeated itself now. But there are no consequences to our bad behaviors, so we continue for doing. To me, the Speaker should not even have a position right now. The Parliament should be fired. If not seriousness, we all depend because of ACC being telling me. I remember our first interview on VOS with Ben Kelfala. He said the only person that the Constitution exempts is the president while he is in power. If he didn't have power, you cannot investigate her until he come on a power. Okay, but all these other people, they keep doing these bad things and nothing is coming out of it. And when Peking they go, it takes some to slap you and they go back again, they do them back because there's no serious consequences. This is the problem we face. And to me, these are not honorable men. And these are the loudest voice. This parentarily and also Tawa Conte, they're the loudest voice. But where is the integrity? And we call them honorable. That's my frustration here. Nothing has been done. If it pleases the president for choose this man as clerk, it should please again President Bio for displease President Bio for take this man out because he has committed something. And according to ACC, this is not allegation anymore. ACC say then take money and then they on bail. They have on bail and then the voice don't begin pay. So not to accusation again. ACC don't carry the case before law. Law don't say that they're on bail or whatever and this and that. Then they fetch the case. But should these people not even step down from their position? Nothing is being done. because they are friends of the higher ups. Nothing gonna do. They don't care. Pull people and I want people demand voucher go up, and that's what we do. That's why we would never go forward. And I ask, is it ready? It's not only the government, but the people that get problem. The one day when they put they said get problem because we not sabi how for behave ourselves, how for make the lives of the people, how for change the lives of the people. That's what I have to say. It is so frustrating and disappointing and troubling for a seat in Parliament of the Republic of Sierra Leone. The Speaker say, I have no idea this was going on. Under you watch in 2021, you don't know, say they get diamond voucher. Nobody not going to whisper a year. Nobody not tell nobody. Everybody is seeing this. How many other people are doing the same thing? How many other diamond voucher then they collect salary when they're not supposed to collect? The people begin then they die every day per corner to cottage hospital. They not even get good medical stuff. Let go. I just left everything because I'm getting upset. So thank you very much. That's all I want to say. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ms. Savage. We welcome your contribution. Let me take one more call. Then I will go to my co-host. Then we'll get several callers online. So please bear with us. We'll get back to you. Let's see if my co-host gets something. Let's take one more call. Then I'll go to Mr. Mengot, who had a technical glitch. As a result of that, was not able to complete what he was saying. Hello, caller. What's your name? Who's the call from?
Yes, sir. How are you, sir? This is Boy Jalo Jamboria.
Mr. Jalo Jamboria, as always.
I think say we for begin treat we country with seriousness. Sierra Leone is bigger than each of us. If there is a parliamentary commission charged with certain responsibility, and people within that commission do something will not go with ethical standards, I think the whole commission should be sacked and should be held responsible. Let's begin deal with institutions, not individuals. If the Speaker of the House is the chairman or head of that commission, and something like this happens, he has no way to say he did not know. How one man go on a whole commission, they employ, hire, and fire people. Let us stop giving excuses for people. Let us stop taking Sierra Leone for granted, running the country as if it is a one-man business. It is a collective business of 7 million and more people. Now that make we establish the institutions here, commissions, civil service. It's because we want a corporate management of we country. But if we begin watering down to individuals, begin blame parentarily for employing his wife, he could not have done that if other people then within the board of the commission no. Then therefore we begin use people as small guys. The whole bunch of them should go. It no matter whether an APC member or SLPP member, any one of the holding of that commission, then they hold them accountable. They'll begin get probity in Sierra Leone. Now this I get for say, sir.
Thank you so much, Mr. Jamboria. Let me just inform the audience, please. You see it flashing on the screen, the subscribe button. So strongly encourage you now for hit the subscribe button, which is a new thing we're going to start emphasizing from now on. So if you enjoy the show and you think it make any meaning to you or to the country as we want it to be, please hit the subscribe button so we know people are actually contributing to the development of the show. Let me turn it over to my co-host, Mr. Mengot. We still get some calls or some callers. So callers, please, wanna bear with us. We're going over to Mr. Mengot. We'll get back to you. Next to you, Mr. Mengot.
Yes, I've been talk about the composition of this Parliamentary Service Commission. So I've been also to talk about the chief whip of the opposition. The whip is somebody who is responsible for disciplinary action at any party. So get on there. We also get the president of the female caucus in Parliament, then an independent member. But so far under this new system, we don't get any other independent member. Then the chairman of the paramount chiefs.
a member of that commission there. Then we get 6 other ordinary members there, were appointed according to the party in strength in parliament. So if we look at under the current parliament with the proportional representation system, it means the ruling party will get more people than this commission. But the critical issue on this commission thing now is that the clerk of parliament is the secretary to the commission and the principal advisor to the commission. So if the man where it has this within at the center of this, nine are the principal advisor to the commission. So how would the commission be able to deal with this issue? So now that makes so anti-corruption coincide. Then we will ask the question, who informed anti-corruption for camp? Because they are also, if you look at a part of the executive, were they summoned by the speaker? What is the role of the speaker? So before we go further, I think say let the technical team play the video from a leading member of the ruling party, when a parliamentarian, when a Ibrahim Tawa, we give in your own version, then we will do an analysis.
The redundancy activity will happen in December, or the 22nd of December, where the clerk issue out letter. For me, it come out straightly and by the minister way available, come out straight from the redundancy activity will happen in December, or the 22nd of December, where the clerk issue out letter. For me, it come out straightly and by the minister way available, come out straight from the decision of the Parliamentary Service Commission to the head of the Parliamentary Service.
In name na Honorable Ibrahim Tawa Conte, Deputy Chief Whip 2 na the Salon Parliament, where they represent the ruling SLPP, and so it jump inside the issue we get for do with the sacking of over 100 workmen them at the Salon Parliament this bientem, where the Clerk of Parliament Parantarawali do. And as you Honorable Tawa Conte say the decision for sack them workmen them come out straight from the Parliamentary Service Commission, where according to law get the right for do so. And with 2 documents them na in hand, where he say na minute them of 2 Parliamentary Service Commission meeting them, with them all between July and October 2023. Honorable Tawa Conte challenged Tranga One say the Speaker of Parliament, Honorable Dr. Abbas Chernobundu, no but all waiting happen from the time when start for plan for sack the over 100 parliamentary workmen them to the time when the Clerk of Parliament give them the sack letter them, although Honorable Tawa Conte not a member of the Parliamentary Service Commission.
Well, I think say the thing that we happen at the commission, firstly the constitution, Salon Constitution talk about collective responsibility in section 60. And Parliament now an arm of government. And an arm of government we get an act of 2007 what they call the Parliamentary Service Commission Act. That act they put 2 services into effect, the Parliamentary Service Commission and the Parliamentary Service. The Parliamentary Service reports to the Parliamentary Service Commission. The Parliamentary Service is headed by the Clerk of Parliament. And the Clerk of Parliament, they take instruction from the Parliamentary Service Commission, which composed of the Speaker as the Chairman, the Deputy Speaker as the Deputy Chairman, then leaders of other parties, and the other 4 members appointed by the Commission, approved by Parliament. Firstly, in all of the minutes the way me don't see to the effect, there is no word like head count in the minutes. There is no word outside the word redundancy and the fact that Parliament get plenty staff them they outside the capacity of Parliament. The resolutions that we don't see from the meetings there and the meetings there, the commission meeting the way they adopt. It gave a talk about realignment in terms of grade for people that we get degree. It talk about redundancy of some offices the way not function in a parliament, and realignment of some members the way actually they do valid work, but for realign them into offices they're going to be more functional. So the word redundancy was mentioned in the minutes of the 18th of October. It was also mentioned and adopted in the minutes of 31st of July.
But the Speaker of Parliament, Honorable Dr. Abbas Cherno Bundu, when at the head of the Parliamentary Service Commission, been get different statement this bientem, as he been make am clear, say Parliament not been take yet the decision for sack any parliamentary workman.
We've not yet taken the decision. And for all you know, the decision might not even involve redundancies of existing staff.
And just after with the Clerk of Parliament don't sack the over 100 parliamentary workman them, the Speaker of Parliament, Honorable Dr. Abbas Cherno Bundu, through text message, been distanced himself from the action of the Clerk of Parliament for sack them workman them yana Parliament. The Speaker of Parliament make am clear, say nobody not tell am say Parliament they sack over 100 workman them, or even tell am the law we say Parliament for sack them workman them yeah. As the head of the legislative arm of government, the Speaker of Parliament, Honorable Dr. Abbas Cherno Bundu, say he believes say Parliament for make sure say any of the decision them where they make we go affect the life of people them like this sacking for go according to the law we Parliament self they make, or else the people them not go get confidence pan Parliament or even respect the Parliament.
The Speaker and the Chairman, if in your minutes na your commission na your meeting say now redundancy therefore do. Therefore redundancy 137 staff. And of the 137 staff then the decision was first taken in July. They were given letters putting all staff members in Parliament for redundancy. And in October, when they meet back, the issue of redundancy came up. It was adopted. A path was taken. Then it means everybody in the Parliamentary Service Commission was on board. They have given a clear instruction to the head of the service to go and deliver, because the head of the service, by the Act, by Section 5 of the Parliamentary Service Commission Act, is say they are responsible for the day-to-day management of the parliamentary service. So, issuing out letters is part of the day-to-day management of the parliamentary service. Let's not forget that.
Now, people who don't follow this issue, they wonder now who that for believe for talk true and take responsibility, the right term for the over 100 parliamentary workman them, where the Clerk of Parliament make them lost their job this bientem. As all this to be, the Speaker of Parliament, Honorable Dr. Abbas Cherno Bundu, been done summon the Clerk of Parliament, parentarily, to one Parliamentary Service Commission meeting, which will take place on the 4th of January 2024. For go answer question them, we get for do with the decision we it take for sack the parliamentary workman them without the clear approval of the Parliamentary Service Commission based on information we they out now. But this meeting go all water. If you all water, waiting go come out there will go be different from waiting already don't happen. For Salon Parliament Eye on Bla TV Online, Mina Abdullah Bla.
Next to you, Mr. Mengot.
Okay. Yes, Fambulo, why are you waiting? Honorable Tawa Conte talk about the Parliamentary Service Commission. You get Parliamentary Service, you get Parliamentary Service Commission. According to Honorable Tawa, the Parliamentary Service is headed by the Clerk of Parliament, who coincidentally is the Secretary and Principal Advisor to the Commission. So, if then they say now, the Commission meets and the Speaker in the say, aware, so Uda compile the minutes a day of that meeting day, because the clerk, if neither the secretary, when the meeting take place, it therefore compile the minutes, get them approved by the Speaker, and then get for debate in a Parliament. So the key question is, why they not follow them procedure and they? So from what we see from my knowledge of parliamentary procedures, there is a lack of due process. Because if you take the follow-up and precedent from ACC, they only talk about the people that way they say for make redundant. But they not talk about the issue where the wife of the clerk of parliament was employed as an HR officer since 2021. That issue did not come in. They don't talk about him. So there's an interest in that because the two are related. So under due process, the clerk for stand down because you get assistant clerk. Now parliament, because we're going to talk about that, waiting at the function of the clerk department and how for make them actually fit for purpose based on the people them who adopt the system from where now the British Parliament. So in my own view, the clerk should stand down and the committee for look into the investigation, if we submit all the paper, the deputy clerk there, and you get more than one deputy, therefore appoint one of them deputy, they will go serve as secretary to the commission for investigate this matter, and then the matter should be brought to the well of parliament for a debate by all parliamentarians. For begin set a committee of which the clerk is still part of the Parliamentary Service Commission, not show any transparency or due diligence. Because we know say yes, Parliament can make law for themselves, how they operate, and can make and change the law, which is a bad precedent. The only way with that law then they could be challenged now through the judiciary. And other than the person, then we go bring that to the notice of the judiciary. It has to be to the electorate, a member of the electorate or an interest group. Even if they bring them to the notice of the judiciary, the Chief Justice then go get for and panel judges them for the Supreme Court for let them look into that issue then they. Already we get a problem at Salon where the current Chief Justice has been sent on indefinite leave, and we get a contract judge where they acting in favor. So how do we come out of this impasse? So over to you, Mr. Shillon, which way I explain so for talk about the legal aspect of all these things. In terms of hiring and firing, in terms of due process, in terms of transparency and due diligence.
Well, exactly with respect to due process, you cannot be the accuser, the executioner, and the person where they enforce the consequences of the violation. Because it look like all this put into the hands of one person. Not only that, it's clear to me, I think we'll get a call our way seem for imply. We are not clearly get any evidence that Mr. Tarawale, the clerk, recruits himself, say, disqualifying himself for saying he not going to participate in the commission. He may have been the one to ask that the commission look into it, but I've seen no evidence that he claimed he's not going to be part of the investigative body. And so the whole process, first of all, it seems to me anytime we try to get a body for look into some malfeasance or irregularity, we get for appoint not only people of integrity, but a commission where composed of people of integrity, so the result itself can be highly respected. We should stop this practice of just forming commission, appointing people knowing the intended outcome of the whole exercise of the commission. Because this is, we get an anticipated outcome, we'll put the likely person that we will see, bring about the outcome there. Then we go about pretending that some kind of serious investigation is taking place. So this is a serious matter. Again, when I started saying we are really trying our best to look at the system and try to build political institutions if we want the system to go forward. Because Mr. Fode Mustafa may say one thing, a phrase where I don't use time and time again, that the people are not serious. They not take the country matter seriously. To them, this is all a game. This is all a game in the sense that some people see politics, like I said earlier, as a zero-sum game. They make a clear distinction between those in the position of authority as against the rest of the country. Well, that works only to an extent that it benefits a handful of people, but it doesn't benefit the country. It doesn't benefit the people. It doesn't raise the standard of living of the people, regardless. Whether you're in APC or you're in SAPPO, you're in C4CO, it no matter your economic status, your social status is not going to be improved whatsoever. So we try to encourage people and we try to say if every government with kind of power could just concentrate on building institutions such as this parliamentary debacle that we're talking about now, if we can just get the parliament for put now the commission, the Public Service Commission, as well as the Parliamentary Service Commission, if we can get people of integrity, we'll go look into some of the irregularities here, whose reports will be trusted and respected. That will be a giant step forward. Because until such time, we are not going to make any stride forward. So so as far as I'm concerned, it's about time we begin to put some seriousness into some of the things here. What would they talk about? We talk about democracy, but democracy gets several facets or arms that must be maintained or sustained for it to work. Democracy involves more than just voting. Democracy entails more than just freedom of speech. Democracy entails more than just justice in court. There are several components to democracy, and we all get to strive for make sure say then components then they are all put together for the system to work. And until we try individually as collectively for do that, we are not going to be able to achieve any type of goal we set for the country. So again, I go back to the initial description of the composition of Parliament. I'm still waiting for someone, particularly the intellectuals them, or the scholars them who put the Constitution together, where say the composition of the Parliament shall include the President, who was named first, and then the Speaker. I really would like for one of those scholars and therefore just try for educate we as to why is the President a member of Parliament? If not to contradictory roles, then the President is being called upon to play. And also I have always advocated against laws that are already in the books, prohibited by the Constitution. Why do we continue to pass laws in Parliament contradicting the laws then they? One of which is, like I can say, the midterm census. If the Constitution say once every 10 years, what power does Parliament have to say at the pleasure of the President or in consultation with the President, Parliament can pass laws to conduct midterm census? That is clearly unconstitutional, but that's not even being challenged. So these are some of the things then some of they complain about if we want our country to work very well. Let me momentarily turn over to my co-host.
Okay, thank you very much.
No, let me interrupt you just briefly, Mr. Mengot. I wanted to take one call and then I'll turn you over. Hello, caller. What's your name? Who's side to call from? Okay, we lost the caller. You can go ahead, Mr. Mengot. Go ahead.
Well, thank you very much. And in fairness, as we can say, now this program, whether or not people don't like it, we are here to present the case, do analysis, and provide solution. And also encourage people them for critique what they say, and let themselves come with their own suggestion. So I think, say, as a way forward, we don't get the first video about the allegations there. We also don't get a response from the government side. I think, say, since now only two parties that will get in Parliament, let we get a video from the leader of the opposition in Parliament, who himself is a member of the Parliamentary Service Commission. After we don't listen up and do the analysis, then we go come back because they come towards the end of the program, for show how we can improve parliamentary administration, especially the clerks department, we're paramount, based on experience from the Commonwealth Parliamentary Association. So if the technical team can play, waiting the opposition, then they say,
they don't report to me, say don't die. 2 of the people away then sack. Then say the one bobo way first die, even talk and say if he lost he walk, he doubts if he go survive. And somebody say talker. That very net, the way he received the letter we go, we hear he say he don't die.
The leader of opposition at the Salon Parliament, Honorable Abdul Kagbo, with small strength and heavy heart, reports say just after the sacking of over 100 workmen them at the Salon Parliament, information where he gets now that 2 of the workmen them will lost in job, self done lost in life as a result of puelat where them get after where the clerk of Parliament sack them from them work and pull bread come out na them mouth.
Parliament na an institution, not to an individual they run Parliament. Now the Parliamentary Service Commission na they run Parliament. So decisions taken by the Parliamentary Commission should not be a news to any member of that commission. They enough for be a news. The speaker for aware, if for no say yes, this is the decision we don't take. Me as opposition leader for aware, I for say yes, this is the decision we don't take. But solitarily, nobody not get the power for say no. Me I take this decision no more. Waiting they come out, they let come out. They, I believe say this now one of the things that way they disorganize any government.
As you hear, the leader of opposition, Honorable Abdul Kagbo, quick for condemn the act for sack people we already the work for people we not the work. We them reach for reduce or redundant workman them na workplace, like with the clerk of Parliament, Paran Tarawali do na the Salon Parliament. And more so, where the clerk of Parliament take the decision without the approval of the Parliamentary Service Commission for sack over 100 workmen them at the Salon Parliament. If you can remember, this BNTM, na Honorable Abdul Kagbo during the 2024 budget debate, into the Speaker of Parliament with concern say, Parliament wants for sack over 100 workmen them, although the government, they on the process for employ plenty workmen them na the public service.
In the midst of all this employment, they want to dismiss 100 staff in your highness. You are killing your institution. Innocent staff. You want to dismiss them.
Just after this concern by the leader of opposition at the Salon Parliament, the Speaker of Parliament, Honorable Dr. Abbas Cherno Bundu, been assure am and the general public say Parliament no get plan for sack any of them workman them, but they try for investigate and fish out people where them understand say they collect salary for Parliament, but not ever mass foot go work na Parliament.
We have not yet taken the decision. And for all you know, the decision might not even involve redundancies of existing staff.
But by all this assurance by the head of Parliament and the Parliamentary Service Commission, the Speaker of Parliament, Honorable Dr. Abbas Cherno Bundu, the Clerk of Parliament, when are the Secretary of the Parliamentary Service Commission, go ahead and sack over 100 workmen them in the Salon Parliament. But why the leader of opposition been decide for raise this issue at the well of Parliament before now?
We make a reason because inside the budget, it did say government intend for employ 2,000 teachers, 2,000 nurses, something like 700 military personnel, and so a lot of employment then way past 8,000 employment in all. So meaning government gets the money for pay them people and the way government were employed. So I raise some say, well, if government they employ over 8,000, now the for can add to the payroll. Why government for sack 100 people them na Parliament? And then God will say why they sack them now because of the payroll, the wage bill too much, So I say, well, government will intend for employ 8,000. Why then for sack 100?
It clear now say power struggle there between the Speaker of Parliament, Honorable Dr. Abbas Cherno Bundu, and the Clerk of Parliament, Paran Tarawali, based on waiting to happen on the issue of sack no sack of over 100 workmen them na Parliament, just at the time when the President Julius Madabio say he wants for create job for about 5,000 Salon people them as part of in top priority for in second term. But waiting this mean for the legislative arm of government, where it clear now say the sense and not look down the old water, as where the Speaker of Parliament, they say this to the public today, and the Clerk of Parliament, they do that tomorrow.
Administratively, it's not correct. It they expose the Parliament, or it they try for show say the clerk gets right for take decision past the Speaker of Parliament. It they show a bad picture. And I believe say Parliament now communication, backdoor communication. So if the clerk for the issue self then let us then they for don't talk with the Speaker for see how Parliament we go talk with one voice. Me self when an opposition leader, I am part of the Parliament. Speaker no go talk one thing, me go do other thing. Where we not agree with the Parliamentary Service Commission no approve. I no go do so. It means say me self no go they work within the ambit of the law. You see, and now that make we all been shocked. We been shocked and surprised. Just a week after Speaker don't give the confidence, say they not the sack. The commission no even reach at that decision day. Now we hear this. But fortunately, the Speaker don't summon a commission meeting on the 4th of January. And we go na that commission day. And we believe say the commission na the highest decision making body in a Parliament. Now then go say, well, let them sack. Now then go say, let them reverse this decision.
People, we don't follow this issue of sacking at the Salon Parliament. They wait now with them to ace them for the kind of action where the Parliamentary Service Commission will take against the Clerk of Parliament, Paran Tarawali. We don't go ahead for sack over 100 workmen them at the Salon Parliament without the clear and general approval of the Parliamentary Service Commission when in normal get the right according to the law for do so. For Salon Parliament, I on Blah TV Online, Mina Abdullah Blah.
Thank you so much, Mr. Mengot. I pass it over to you. We're coming to the end, to the close of the show. So I'll pass it over to you.
Listening to the leader of the opposition, he is a member of the Parliamentary Service Commission. Okay. in fairness to him, the meeting the way Honorable Tawa referred to probably then take place where they not become parliament yet. Because if we all be know, say, the opposition will boycott parliament. And when they come back, they ask as one of the conditions for letting them retain their position. So he is now part of the Parliamentary Service Commission. And the meeting where they submit, say them for all, in my own view, at the center of the meeting, one, according to the deputy, the leader of the opposition, the person who get for answer question or query, now the clerk of parliament. So, by right, he get for step down for the time being, for letting investigator. The other thing where I want to bring to the notice of this Parliamentary Act of 2023, which is an amendment of 207. One of the things where people may not realize, before the last parliament, the parliamentarians then be asked for a lot of things them in terms of their remuneration, where they not left parliament and everything. So that is appended to this Parliamentary Act. So, under the Parliamentary Act, Section 51, one thing where they say, listen, for sure how this problem they come, he said the Speaker of Parliament shall at the start of every Parliament, and in any case not later than 3 months of the commencement of the first session of a new Parliament, by statutory instrument, prescribe conditions of service of the Speaker, the Deputy Speaker, members of Parliament, Clerk of Parliament, and Parliamentary service. A statutory instrument under Section 1, where I read, so before passage by Parliament, be submitted to the President for his comment within 14 working days, and any comment by the President shall be deemed to be a motion for debate by the leader of government business. So you can see how murky this whole thing is, right? You get the Speaker of Parliament, where now in the determine through a statutory instrument, which is a secondary legislation, the condition of service of instead. Now they determine your own condition of service. In deputy, members of Parliament, and the Clerk of Parliament, and parliamentary service, meaning other workers. Then also, that same statutory instrument, before he go Parliament, then go for send them to the President for a comment. So, in my own view, this all Parliamentary Act will show all lengthy about the Parliamentary Service Commission, the secretary, the Clerk of Parliament being secretary and principal advisor, things to do with remuneration, the role of the Speaker being the what you would call the legislative head, the clerk being the parliamentary or administrative head, being appointed by President, and all those things. First of all, I think that Act of Parliamentary Service Commission should be nullified. Now, go back to the Constitution. You can get a parliamentary service where they look at conditions in how Parliament operates. But now go back to the original thing of the Constitution, where say the clerk and other workers in Parliament, now public servants, so they're subject to even disciplinary action and conditions of the Public Service Commission. So that is my view. And now come back to the office of the clerk. Then I give my own experience from the House of Commons. And when I did practice where most Commonwealth Parliamentary Association they form. The clerk department, now the major department na parliament, now any parliament. And normally, all the committees them, they under the clerk department. Because you get the House Committee, when a committee for deal with the administration of parliament, where you got the Committee of Ways and Means, the Finance Committee, the Budget Committee, then in a permanent committee then you get the Scrutiny Committee then. When are the committees them, where they shadow all ministries and departmental agencies. So then committees then normally they're all part of the clerk's department. And in other Commonwealth parliamentary practice, the clerks are recruited as public servants. So they get to go through a training process. They get to go through all the different committees then they get to be clerk of different committee, get to work in the speaker office, get to work in the Hansard office. The Hansard office na the office where they deal with parliamentary reporting. So for somebody for end up being a clerk, if you don't go through that training day, and normally almost 20 years of experience in different administrative arms of parliament before it could be clerk of parliament when a head of administration. And the president, not forget, no role in appointment or in services. Neither the speaker said, not forget any role in determining the conditions of service of the clerk. It should be the Parliamentary Service Commission on the advice of the Public Service Commission, when at the principal commission for deal with all public servants, we get codes of service of public servants, we for work with the Parliamentary Service Commission for make sure say we get professionals in parliament. The next thing I want to talk about, before look at their redundancy here, they before do an evaluation of the role in parliament and the different departments then. Because according to Tower, there are other people the way they work. For instance, the Auditor General in office is an extension of parliament. You get legal officers there, you get drafts people there. So they go for look at the functions of parliament, the different departments them, and how they all gel together in terms of making parliament function, make it independent of the executive and independent of even other political and party influences. These are considerations we'll get for look at. There's help. Sierra Leone is a member of the Commonwealth Parliamentary Association, and I feel to say it is about time we contact Commonwealth Parliamentary Association for bringing experts in for letting them review the different offices in Parliament, the role and responsibility of the Speaker, the Clerk of Parliament, and other people then were responsible for the functionality of Parliament. Let's hold fire there and let you now for probably respond and give comments to some of the suggestions that I don't make.
Well, I agree with you wholeheartedly, because we need to really, again, emphasize the fact that it's about time we start talking about building, improving, creating new ways and steady progress towards building institutions. If we don't do that, all of this is just throwing water on ducks' back. We're not getting anywhere. Let me stop right here. Let me just take a call, and then I will proceed. Hello, caller. What's your name? Where you call from? Turn your instruments down, please. Turn your instrument down. Please turn your instrument down. Your television or your radio, whatever you get.
How are you?
Yes, fine. Please turn your radio or TV down.
Yeah, am I clear now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You're quite there.
Yeah, the first impression, when I remember the Dominion University, he was one of the graduates with the PhD. He used our resources, our own money, to get our fake PhD. With others, at least we should have questioned his integrity, and hope His Excellency, the President, will have rethink who Param was, or who Param continue to be. That alone will have be a big trouble. But if we go up, we come down again, the Parliament will let it be shocked, because even the Speaker, before 2007, the Speaker was strictly a retired judge, and alone. At least with the people, they are somehow liberal people. They are people who have hold the balance together. But when the former president came and said anybody who has served to change that side of the constitution and allow every Jack and G to become a speaker in that country. So every party will come now, rather than looking for a retired judge, somebody with a hold the parliament to balance, they can begin party supporters, and they can begin recruit party supporters for being a speaker, and party supporters. I think even before that time, the clerk was they were taking people from the public servants. I think the former president can begin change all those things, and that have been a mess in our country up to now. I hope this three-way party issue committee reform, they will really brother and discuss the next wide for cover all these things. For all these things, maybe help for the manipulation of the judge, the electoral system, and our country. So the parliament office, whatever they are doing, whatever law they can reach, the parliament will come after one or two times, they shall appear and we construct them the way they want them. I hope all those things should be considered by this appetite committee where they reform. So those are the basics, those are the foundation of that country. If there's going to be a free and fair electoral system in our country, those things should be considered. And that may take Gandhi. I hope God will help Salome and God will bless Salome.
Thank you very much, sir. Your point is well taken. And of course, talking about prior administration, I couldn't agree with you more. But this is why we are saying the ball has to start somewhere, you know? So we just hope and pray and encourage that we all, whether you're in APC or you're in SFPP or you're in C4C, or regardless of what you are, we try for move with one intention, and that's for improve the system. Because keeping the status quo is not going to help us. So that's why we have to be very, very, very concerned. Let us begin for look at this thing. Like Mr. Mengot touched on a couple of times, he said the PR system is another thing we're going to get into at some point in time. Because we know, say, for the first time in the elections, we only get two party, no more, way they in parliament. I don't think that is good for the country. I don't think that's safe for the country. I think the multi-party system is the best way to go, but that's a subject for another time. So the proportional representation is an issue we could discuss next time. But So that said, we are out of time. I don't want to start or open another front in terms of today's discussion, which can go on and on and on. So, and I'm not going to add any more than what Mr. Mengot has so ably addressed and described, and how we call as them have so ably made some oral and written contributions too. There are several comments coming in, so we greatly appreciate all of that. So we hope we're going to look forward to a very vibrant discussion on issues affecting the country. So until then, I'm saying goodbye, and I turn you over to my co-host to say or to close, and until then, we'll see you next week. Mr. Mengo.
Well, family, I thank you very much. I tell you plenty thank you when I listen to we with this new broadcast for the new year. We'll start with Parliament. Although we talk about issues that were scandalous, but we also talk about institutional lapses and how we improve the system. Salon Nawalion. We get a new slogan now where they say, yeah, Salon big pass we all. And if we take that together, then discussion, yeah, now follow see what's wrong with your system. Nobody is above the law. Even the president is take an oath for protect the constitution. And also as commander-in-chief, he for defend Salon against all enemies, foreign and domestic. And the enemies, and they're not so enemies with arms. Now enemies of progress, because we get a lot of enemies of progress now with system. We got a lot of people that were oblivious to change. And if we get Parliament right, we get the lawmakers then right, we get the rules of the game right, then Salon go better. So with that, I tell you, I thank you for listening to it. Until we meet next week. Now, I'm a servant and co-host for this program on trendy issues on politics and governance, Victor Akumengot, they say Tata from Surrey in the UK. Until we meet again next week.